Let him know you're here.
Let the fights begin.
Roy, watch out!
What you got?
Get up, Roy! Get up!
You know, you cost me a lot of money tonight. You got 48 hours to make this up to me.
You haven't heard from Roy. We don't go this long without hearing from him. Get a little worried sometimes.
He's a vagabond fighting people for scrap. Fight!
Get to the top.
We're about to load uncut diamonds into your truck.
And you know what'll happen if this doesn't get to Baja in the next 24 hours, do you?
You got a brother, right? The one with the beautiful wife and the 2 daughters.
What does Joe have to do with this?
I need collateral.
Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm.
Nice to see you.
You want to come with me for a couple days?
Geez, yeah, why not?
Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm.
Oh, God.
I think that's the clerk's car.
Sound the alarm.
There they are.
What did you get us into, Roy?
50 million in diamonds.
Make it to the top.
Where's my diamonds?
3 SUVs and some guys robbed us.
Hello? The girls are gone. The 3 of us are getting my family back. Palazzo Mansion, that's where we're looking. Set up sniper and cover us.
I'm in position.
Sound the alarm. Sound the alarm. Make it to the top.
What, you think you can take it?
You questioning my honor?
Hi everyone, it's Plastic EP coming in from Melbourne, Australia. I've got my great friend Asif Akbar. He's just done a great movie now called Mojave Diamonds. How are you today, Asif?
Hey, Plastic, how are you doing? Glad to be back on your show.
That's great, Asif. Now I want to talk about this brand new movie. Tell everybody about it. I just went to the official trailer. It looks like a knockout movie.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, it's a fun ride film, kind of like a throwback to the 80s and 90s, action films that we all kind of grew up watching and being inspired from, the old like Cannon films and even the Roger Corman stuff, but with real life fighters. We had a great cast of UFC fighters with Cowboy Cerrone, Chael Sonnen, Quentin Rampage Jackson, along with a great actor, up-and-coming Weston Cage, which is Nicolas Cage's son. You'll see him, in a whole different way in this movie. I think it'll be his breakout. The guy is very talented. So I was blessed with a really good cast and guys that can do a lot of good action and fights. And it's going to be a kick-ass movie. I can't wait for people to check it out.
I got to tell you, that's the ingredients for a great movie. And I also saw one of your promos where you're standing outside a theater or something and they've got the poster for the actual movie behind you. That was great on the net.
Yeah, so, it was recently presented at the Cannes Film Market. I had actually 5 different films that I directed that was presented at the Cannes Film Market, and Mojave Diamonds, with it, releasing today in U.S. It's releasing on May 30th in the US and I believe North America, and it's going to be releasing in other countries such as Australia and others starting in June. I believe Defiant Entertainment is distributing it out in Australia, so it'll be out on DVDs and digital. But it's one of those kinds of DVD movies that are just fun, like what people were used to going to blockbusters and picking up off the shelves and watching and just having one of those popcorn flick nights. I hope it gets some great feedback from the audience, because there has been some talks about a possible sequel, and we had some great ideas, and the cast, they're, all excited to possibly, have a future with the franchise in this film. So it's all up to the audience, though, as long as they think it's fun and worthwhile, then we can keep going with this story. It's a very unique and nice feel good action film. Something that, like I mentioned earlier, we all kind of grew up watching with the 80s and 90s, action films. So it's definitely a throwback homage to, those kinds of films. And, I'm not looking to win an Oscar with it or anything. It's not one of those kinds of movies. But if you're an action fan, I think, it has all the elements in it that you'll enjoy.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm an action fan, and we're missing it because the great thing about watching these movies takes your mind off other things. You're just able to sit back, relax like it used to be. Like when people were going to like blockbuster videos, sitting back and watching movies and just enjoying themselves on a night. I mean, how great is that now that we've got all these new platforms that are digital that we didn't have before?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right. And I heard rumors that Blockbuster Video is kind of coming back now. They're starting with more stores opening up, and it's that nostalgic feeling, like when I watch movies now, it's very limited. First off, I don't have that much time as much as I used to. And when I do, I like to take my mind off of everything. Like you just said, you want to watch movies that will do that. And everyone has different tastes. But this particular film, Mojave Diamonds, I made with that in mind, that I just want to make a fun, cool, kick-ass movie that someone can just, forget about the world and their life for at least 90 minutes and enjoy something that, that they used to when they were younger, or, just anything that will entertain them. It didn't like really take that much thought. It's a very straightforward action film. And the good thing was the energy that was surrounding it. When we were making the movie, everyone had fun. We were all friends. A lot of the actors were all my friends. And we went out, and every day on set, it was one of the most fun times we've had making a movie. And, I make a lot of movies, all kinds of different genres, different styles. That's the one thing as a director I like to, establish myself as a versatile director. I'm very diverse in the style that I approach every film with. Every film is different, and I treat it differently, and that's what also keeps me going and motivates me to do bigger and better movies. But I learn from every movie, and I try to give the audience a different experience in every movie. So I can proudly say, I'm blessed to be able to do that, where, I don't really have a certain niche where, every film I do is going to be that one particular style or, type of film. I hope, I can kind of give the audience something different with this and from my upcoming ones as well.
You know what's amazing? You're going out to the world with your audience, right? And what I want to know is, from your idea and then writing a script and actually filming Mojave Diamonds, I want to know the process. It comes in your mind and whatever. How long did the movie take to actually finish it? Was it like 1 year, 2 years from the thought to the actual finished product?
That's actually very interesting you asked that, and I get asked that a lot, especially with this movie, because people that know me or have been a part of making it, they saw that it was actually one of the fastest films and turnarounds that we had, where the script was written actually in 10 days, the first draft, where, I got a call. It was one of those unusual situations where I got a call from Premier Entertainment, who's, the company that's also behind it, one day, and they said, hey, we want to do a film with these particular actors. And I was, friends with Cowboy Cerrone. We've done multiple films together. And it was basically, a formula film where they needed a particular, slot filler for, upcoming release date. And they wanted a film with those particular actors, which was Cowboy Cerrone, Chael Sonnen, and then one other name. And I called up Cowboy and I said, hey, there's an opportunity to make another movie this year, coming up very fast. And I think that was October of 2021. I received this call, and I'm in Miami shooting another movie. And at that time, they're asking for a script with these particular actors. So I call Cowboy, he's available. So he calls up Chael Sonnen, they're friends. Chael says he's available. And now the missing part was the script. So when I called Premiere back, I asked them, "Do you have a script?" They said, "Not really. We were hoping you did." So at this point, we had the actors on board and also the sales company, distribution, all those in place. The missing link was the script. So when they asked me how long it would take to get the script, I said as soon as possible. Let me get working on it. Give me about 10 days. So I started writing it basically on my phone. I downloaded Final Draft because I was on the go. I was traveling. I was working on another movie. So I basically just took the inspiration of knowing that no matter what, this film is going to get made. They came to me asking for, a project with these elements. So if I can bring it to the table, we have another movie made. And so obviously, whenever I direct something, I need to also have a personal and passionate connection to the material. And since now I had the opportunity to also write it, I was able to play around with different ideas in my head. Now that they had also approved the story, that was easier as well. So now I knew that I had the actors, I had the story, and I had the for sure distribution and assurance that the movie was going to get made. So with all of those inspirations, it motivated me to just keep writing. In between my other filming, I was always writing on my phone during traveling, during the nights in bed. I had some sleepless nights, but sure enough, in 10 days, I was able to turn around the first draft, sent it off. They liked it, which was kind of unusual because usually you get a lot of notes back and there's back and forth. But I think that energy that surrounded it, of the fact that I knew the movie was going to get made. I knew certain elements that were already in place that helped me to really see the vision clearly, to be able to put it on paper. And once I started writing and got past the first maybe 10 pages, it just flowed out. And so I pretty much saw the film beginning to end as if it was already made. So I just wrote it on paper, and then the approval came to get it made, and we were up and running, already shooting the film about a month after that. So in October, the script started coming together. In December, beginning of December, first week of December, we started shooting. And now here, about a month, a year and a half later, the movie's releasing. So it's been a pretty interesting ride, because there's been movies that we've gotten made in fast and speed time, but this one was just a smooth ride and fast from the beginning to end, because I think everyone had a clear vision of what we were doing, what we needed to do. And like I said, it wasn't one of those movies that we were expecting to win an Oscar or really make it to a whole different level. It was one of those fun films that we knew we had the opportunity to make, and we just had to go out, do what we do best, and make the movie, and have fun with it. And we did. And I think it turned out to be one of those just fun rides. I think when people watch it, like you said earlier, it's one of those where they can tune out everything else and just kind of be entertained for 90 minutes. It has a lot of action. It has all the elements that action movie fans expect in a movie like this. So I think we've delivered on our end. And if we can make a sequel, I'll sign up all day long, just because how fun it was with this one. I would love to go back to it.
Mojave Diamonds is just like a fantastic title. I don't know who came up with that. That must have been you, I'm guessing. But I'm just saying, the title is a winner. The actors, right, as I said,
yeah,
the UFC superstars, the action, like you got the formula for something that you presented now, which is great to the world. I mean, am I right? But it just comes to me like the title of the movie is really, really important.
No, absolutely. You're right. And I always try to, actually, when I'm writing, there's a couple things I always focus on, and the title is one. I always try to come up with the title first, because that can inspire you to go whichever way. Secondly, I look for the beginning and ending, and also the characters. Those pieces are very important to me when I develop a story and start writing a script. And with this, I actually had 3 titles. There was one, Collateral Danger was the first one. Then I was thinking of Blood Diamonds. which, there was already a film that was similar title to it, Blood Diamond. So that was kind of out the window. And then Mojave Diamonds was my third, choice in the title. So with those three working titles, I was playing around with it. And as we were getting ready to shoot and during pre-production, we started, like looking at locations. And I've always liked that name Mojave, and I live near the Mojave Desert as well myself. And I always thought that was a cool, name for a location and even a movie title. There's a movie I remember growing up watching, Mojave Moon, with Angelina Jolie, and that name, that title, just kind of grabs you. So I figured, Mojave Diamonds is catchy enough, and I wanted the diamonds in the title as well, because that has a big part in the story. So at the end of the day, I had a vote with people too, that I knew, close friends and family and colleagues. And I said, "Hey, what do you think?" And everyone went for Mojave Diamonds. That was, just the catchier name, and I was right. I mean, what I liked, others liked. So it was one of those things where I then started thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna go with what I like and others like in making all the choices in this film, because at the end of the day, again, it was one of those films I knew I was going into making a film that I enjoyed watching growing up. Yeah, recently I just wrapped production on a film called Boneyard that I did with Mel Gibson and 50 Cent starring. That was one of those examples where I, knew that the role that Mel Gibson ended up playing was basically written for him, and I've always envisioned him from the beginning. And so, we kind of polished it up to fit him, and we took our time. We were patient. We, contacted the agency, which we've worked with before, and they liked the material. He read the script, he liked it, but it was a process. It took some time and patience on both ends to bring everything together to make it work. And I was very blessed to be able to, do that. And so just like that, a lot of the movies I do, I always go for the actor I want and just go through the agencies, or if I have a direct connection, I'll call them up and I'll be like, "Hey, I have this movie with this role. I'm thinking about you. Are you available? What do you think? Are you interested?" And then if they give me the go ahead, then it's a lot easier. Get past a lot of wasting time, but it's always a process.
Now, Asif, I want to thank you, right? And everyone out there, make sure you go and see Mojave Diamonds, right? As the movies get released, we'll keep doing interviews and tell you what's out at the time that they do come out. But don't miss that movie, especially here in Australia. Keep your eyes out open for it in June. And everyone there in the US, as I said, go and see Mojave Diamonds, whatever streaming platform that's going to be on. Because as I said, you want to see a movie that's action-packed, just go to YouTube and check out the trailer. It's just a blockbuster as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it sure is a fun ride. And thank you, Plastic, for all the support.
No worries, Asif. Thank you.